Like, we got him really backed up against the wall. He really ain't got nowhere else to go. But
That's right. That's right. He doesn't have any scholarship, so he has to go sneak around, phoning old women and trying to get information. That, deal with the scholarship. You say you're going to debunk my book. I'm a Nigerian fraudster, yeah? So come and deal with this book. Stop trying to contact old women. Come and deal with this book. That's why I'm here.
Hey, to Arthur, he can't get with the book, man.
That's all. I said, if I'm a fraud, I'm a trash researcher. Come, let's deal with the book, page for page.
This is a proper written book, bro.
That's it. Simple. I've got nothing to say. What I've got to say is in the book.
Yeah, salute to the book, man. This is a good written book, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's been updated. As I said, truth is truth. And whoever has the truth, that's who I'll give credit to.
Right. Okay, what about the update on Johnny Brown on Tamaray?
Right, fantastic. Again, the Noonaboos put out a request over Facebook. Even though they says that we only research on Facebook, but they put out a request on Facebook for someone to come forward with information about, I think it was Kwipu, her name is. I don't want to get her name wrong. Kwipu, she put out a request on Facebook.
Too many complications in war times. All right, I just wanted to reiterate that Kwipu did not put up a post asking who this person was, but this is the actual post so you can see for yourselves. Again, this is demonstrating primary sources. This is why you have to check people, especially with these guys. They just say things and people agree with them and then don't see how important it is. All right, so they're asking the Wappins, why do you guys keep spreading those photos around of that man on Tamaray saying it was Afroo? That's the question. For starters, y'all kept saying he was fabricated, including the person who released the photo, Al Carter. You guys also referenced the elder, Otis Wagner, rest in peace, as the person who was with Afroo and believe his story is full truth. So here's where he messed up. Firstly, he said Afroo was from Jersey, lived in Jersey in 1967. Afroo didn't move to Irvington, New Jersey until after he retired in 1990 with his wife. His obituary indicates that he also was not born in New Jersey, so he wasn't from there. He lived in Brooklyn most of his life, but was born in Georgia. You can hear this southern accent in the transcript audio tape to the introduction to the Nature of Nature book. Secondly, even though the story he and Prince York are saying is fabricated, Otis Wagner, rest in peace, states that Afroo left York's information to leave religion and formed his own group. That's another lie. So if you look at it, it's nothing in here is asking about who this person is. So when you go down here again, Mark Love or Louvet states that this guy is a former police commissioner for the city of Atlanta. All right. And so Kwipu went and did her research and said they do look alike, but she still want to wait and keep researching. All right. So again, then you go back to the source material of this image, right? Which is right here by Al Carter, February 29th, 2020. Right? This is over a year ago. This is like about 16 months ago now. All right. And he put it up there. What did he say? Did the late Johnny Eugene Brown, aka Afroo, visit the Nawapi and say in Holy Land? This is the one who was asking who this person was. And Al didn't even say that what he just asked, did he? Right? And if you go down, you can see different people commenting, like Issa El Mahdi got him. That's a heavy York supporter. Right? You got all these people sitting here like, right? But if you get down and further, you see Tanunet laughing, right? You just keep going and going, and you see me come down here, and I start breaking certain things down. But we all was like on this post when it first came out, like this is not even real. So the whole point is, this is the source of that confusion that y'all ran with, like religious people that y'all are. Shoot me the comment, peace and wartime.
If anybody knows any information about Johnny Eugene Brown, oh no, sorry. If anybody had any correct information about the picture of the chap on Tamaray, who it was claimed was Afroo Oonoo, which was in the book. We referenced it in the book because the information came from what was that chap's name?
Al Carter.
That's right. Al Carter put a post up showing a gentleman on Tamaray, and he hypothesized that this gentleman was Afroo Oonoo and that he visited Tamaray. So that's what was going around, that Afroo Oonoo visited Tamaray. And we know the Nunubus didn't have the correct information because they had to put out a request over Facebook.
Right.
So that doesn't sound like great researchers to me, putting out feelers across Facebook to request more information about the issue. But be it as it may, they debunked that theory that Johnny Eugene Brown, who they claim is a Afroo Oonoo, visited Tamaray. So now we know that it wasn't. It was actually, I think he was a police detective named Gerald Eaves. Don't quote me on that. His name, Detective Eaves, who was a retired policeman, something like that, from Georgia. So the Nunubus have come forward with the correct information of who, which they got from somebody on Facebook, one of their Facebook friends in their Facebook group. A chap came forward with the correct the correct identity of the person who supposedly visited Tamaray and was talking to Dr. York. So that's been cleared up now. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It's all about truth. We're not claiming to know everything.
Bottom, independent street media and TV. Chuck Morgan, you in the book. Garfield, you in the book. Tarnoon, you in the book. Alt, you in the book. And Tazariak, all is mentioned in the book. Because these are the main slanderers and people that come against Dr. Malachi York. So when I tell you we coming hard and we coming correct, we doing it like Malachi did it.
We're not claiming to know everything. So the book is updated, the correct information's been there, and most importantly, they've been referenced.
All right, so now he said the book has been updated. All right, so let's look at this particular thing. The one on the right, it says Johnny Eugene Brown on Tamaray, below Johnny Eugene Brown talking to Dr. York. All right, once again, we've been told these clowns that the man that they was falsely accusing of being somebody else, and both are deceased. Mind you, we've been told them that. They ignored that. This is nothing new, because Tahak had been around long enough to know that. All right, so when you update something, he just should have took Afroo Oonoo's face out of the book, and Reginald Eaves, rest in power to both. There's no need for either one to be in there. This has nothing to do with anything. This whole debacle was foolish and it was fake. So this part right here, this means that all he did was went into the file, edited a little something, took a couple of things out and switched it around and put in some pictures that they didn't have in the first place. That's all he did. So it's not even a complete update. That's just something he's saying because he knows a lot of y'all let that book sit as long as it did. Had we not came in and actually demonstrated and put the information out there so you can see it, that it's not to take away from other people who we seen online, that people seen online actually saying that it was mistakes in the book, but they didn't go no further than that. And that's another problem with a lot of our people. Y'all see a wrong being done, whether it's physical, literal, or in literary works, and y'all had this thing where you go partial. You'll say something on the main line, but don't go no further. We have to go all the way on the front line because y'all too scared to do it, or y'all got this fake code that y'all like to keep, and it don't make no sense. Number one, this is what when you start trying to do something for self and kind, and you see a wrong being done, especially as people spending money, and everybody that we did see was saying there's major errors in the book. So no, but guess what? Tahag and them didn't do anything to try to fix it until we stepped on the scene. The very people that's being falsely accused and slandered in the book, and they still talking about they want us to address the lies in that. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let them lies stay that you put in there, because why would I tell you all the truth, at least enough about where I come from and all that, so you could just update the book? That's dumb. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let that sit there because you're gonna learn the lesson the hard way. Like I told you, you should have did proper research. Stop trying to scapegoat the fact you're a foreigner, because that means if you don't have the necessary connections outside, that a lot of this stuff can be found on the internet, and you use the internet to connect with people, you would have had a better book. But you and your crew need your hands cut off because of this foolishness y'all writing in these books. Y'all just abusing your hands and your brains and your eyes and your ears, and y'all just accepting a whole bunch of mess and putting books together. Once again, this is not a full update. Reginald, Eaves, rest in power, should not been in this book. Afroo, Oonoo, rest in power, shouldn't been in this book. This whole section shouldn't even be in the book, because y'all know who Afroo, Oonoo is. You got the obituary, right? And not only that, where is it at? Where did I put that at? Not only that, Yorknam already put out a book called The Harvest. That states right here, number 174. So they watched and waited to see if it was Wusabat. They knew about the Wapu of Afroo, Oonoo. So that kills all of this other stuff that y'all got going on. Once again, both of these men should not be in that garbage can book you got. Because if you not make y'all making corrections on the book that the mixed Mingalese mutt went on Sarnetta and claimed that y'all got the book that addresses all the slanderers, all of this, all of that. But what we come to find is that only thing it did was show that you was just copying and pasting and taking way worse than second, third hand information. You so far down the line, it's evidently ridiculous that you don't know what you're doing. Once again, take both of these men out of the book. I'm gonna make sure I put my Cash App at the end of the video so you can start Cash Apping, because we doing the book for you, because it's a shame. It's only because you lying on the dead. That's the only reason that you doing that. We making this known. All right. So I don't know where you went to school that taught you that putting out false information and hope that somebody bite the hook and say, you know what, we need to deal with somebody who can hopefully grab the book and tell us what to do. That's what y'all need to do. Cut the crap. That's not what time it is. Too many kind of peace in wartime.
It's the source of the information.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Now,
because as a journalist, I will accept if it's the truth. I'll accept information from anybody.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. I'm not partisan when it comes to the truth. The truth is the truth. So if there's something wrong in the book, I'll admit it and have it updated, and more importantly, give credit to the source.
Right.
That's what you have to do. You have to give credit to the source. I give credit to the source. I give credit to Tarnoon and the Noonabus and Kwipu for coming forward with the correct information. So that's been settled. Now we can move on.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Okay. Now, so and here's another thing too that I want to say. Right.
Right.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
What another thing that people don't realize is when you are collecting information or collecting data, right? At times you may not have all of the information or data to be able to come to a solid conclusion. So at best you can do, or you can make a hypothesis.
That's right.
And if you look at the picture which was just shown, and look at the picture of Johnny Brown, and look at the picture of this other brother who was a mayor or detective or whoever he was.
Yeah.
They look a lot. I mean, this is another easy pictorial mistake.
All right. Now the Mingalese hybrid mixed up genes mutt trying to justify that the pictures it's a pictorial mistake. No, it's not. They had color pictures, and you can look at it and see that they not the same. Y'all put out a book that was supposed to be finished product, and they tell you that book's supposed to go through a multitude of transitions before it hit the press. If anything that should be at best the worst thing is grammatical errors. This book is full of sources. I mean, it's full of information that he don't cite, especially when it comes to Chuck's site. That's one of the biggest things that I noticed. Again, since it's more than one person supposed to be you that co-wrote the book, all of y'all are guilty because you didn't vet the book right. Y'all took so much stuff from Chuck's site and didn't even cite it, but you hating on the man, got a bunch of sections in the book calling Chuck a liar and a slander. Why are y'all using source material from his site? That makes no sense. But anyway, this is a color picture of Afroo, and we don't even know how old this picture is. Most likely, this picture was probably in the late 70s, based upon the way Afroo hair looks and the way his beard made. If you go back and look into the 70s groups like the Earth, Wind and Fire and groups like that, they all had those sideburns at that time. So I don't even think that's an up-to-date picture. All right, and if you look at the picture of Reginald, Eaves, right? Rest in peace. He has more what you would call like a little fade or whatever. That would be more up-to-date and modern. And even for older men, they still would rock old style haircuts that we had way back in the day. You could tell from that. But again, looking at these men, there's no way they got that wrong. It was a mistake. We've been telling them. But they wanted to believe that Afroo was somebody after they said that they had no idea who that person was. We made them up. Once again, that the classic visit that me and Oonoo had when we went over there in 2014, Pharaoh was in there, Pharaoh Ships, Earl was in there, Sakina was in there. We was in there about 3-4 hours talking and debating, and everybody was in there talking and going back and forth. It wasn't no arguing. We just in there talking. We just, going back and forth about certain things, information. But the Afroo thing, Earl came out his mouth and swore they didn't know what I was talking about. That's exactly what they was doing. And so that being the case, what are you talking about? How do you look at this person and you can obviously tell they not the same one? And this here, it's Mr. Eaves here, back in 2000, this interview is 2012. You can still see the haircut. It's the same person. And so they just want to carry on this lie. But the whole point of the matter is they put out a trash book, the mixed gene mutt, threw his dumb face on the front of it because he wants to be somebody so bad. Go find something to do in your own race. Stay out of black people business. You're not African. You don't have the genetic material. Find something else to do. That's what you need to do. All right. Same thing with you, Tahaka, who made all these racist statements, and you working with somebody that's mixed. Like, y'all don't make
mistake.
No sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry to cut you. If you go to Nawabianism.com, Chuck Morgan's website, he's got another photograph which looks identical to Johnny Eugene. So
Right.
which lends even more credibility to it. But they're not the same person, so that's it.
But guess what? Afroo Oonoo has been seen, spotted, located. This video is called The Mystery of Afroo Oonoo Solved. He is on Tamaray with Dr. Malachi York. So what can they say today? Official Illuminati, all day, every day. Grand Kush. Holla at me. Holla at me.
Be it as it may, they debunked that theory that Johnny Eugene Brown, who they claim is a Afroo Oonoo, visited Tamaray. So now we know that it wasn't. It was actually, I think he was a police detective named Gerald Eaves. Don't quote me on that, because as a journalist, I will accept if it's the truth. I'll accept information from anybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. I'm not partisan when it comes to the truth. The truth is the truth. So if there's something wrong in the book, I'll admit it and have it updated, and more importantly, give credit to the source.
Right.
That's what you have to do. You have to give credit to the source. I give credit to the source. I give credit to Tarnum and the Nunabus and Kwipu for coming forward with the correct information. So that's been settled. Now we can move on.